Hello, everyone.
Welcome to the Queers of Time podcast.
I'm Matt.
I'm James.
I'm Kenny.
And I'm Kat.
And this is a podcast to talk about all the gay stuff in the Wheel of Time.
Because we're gay and we like the Wheel of Time. And as always, thank you to Lux, our fellow venerator of Serene.
Today we are going to continue talking about the Wheel of Time series, or more specifically, it's going to be another installment of Matt Summarizes the books from memory. And today we are starting off with the fandom's, the most popular of the books, the highest rated on Amazon and Goodreads, and generally regarded as the pinnacle of the series itself, that being the Crossroads of Twilight.
Uh-huh.
I can't believe you did that.
There's going to be someone whose favorite book is Crossroads of Twilight, and they're going to be there like, oh, how dare.
Did you two see, Will Takes, that was a podcast doing the reading of the Wheel of Time?
That you know that other podcast.
Yeah, I'm saying that in case someone is listening to us and have no idea who Will Takes are. And when they reached Crossroads of Twilight, they just did a very long episode for that book. And I was like, that was hilarious.
That's so funny. So I'm slowly making my way through the book episodes, and so I'm on, I think, The Shadow Rising.
Yeah, I'm still on The Shadow Rising for me.
No, The Dragon Reborn. I'm on The Dragon Reborn.
Oh.
So
you have a little bit of time.
I have quite some time to go, but thoroughly enjoyable. I can't wait to get to that big long episode.
Yeah. It's just the meme of making a single episode for Crossroads of Twilight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's a book that we are not going to need a full season for.
Yeah.
No, that can just be baked into other things, other seasons.
I am sure that there are fans of Crossroads of Twilight. I'm sure there are people out there who love it. And somewhere pigs fly with wings. But yes.
Yeah. There are parts of the book that are there are parts of the book that aren't that are good. There are good parts of the book. That's not what the issue is.
I thought you were going to say there are parts of the book that are definitely a book.
I mean, yes.
Yes.
There are parts of the books that are enjoyable, and then parts of the book that are definitely a book. This is technically speaking a book.
So in order to be able to explain that, maybe we should ask Matt what's actually going on in Crossroads of Twilight, and why were people who had waited for years for another Wheel of Time book, why did those people got frustrated by Crossroads of Twilight?
Actually, it's going to probably surprise people that I actually remember these things because of how controversial it was in the fandom, because we've been waiting for about 50 books now for Perrin to finally fucking rescue Fael from the Shido Aiel, and we've also been waiting for Egwene to actually do something with Tar Valon. And I'm not sure, I can't remember if at this point she's reached the White Tower, but if she is, she's just camped out there, I don't know, not doing anything interesting, that's for sure.
But there's something even more specific about Crossroads of Twilight.
Yes.
The fucking circus?
No, it's not. It's not about a specific plot point. It's about timing.
Yes.
Timing, like in the time that the book was released, or like timing within the movie? I mean, within the series.
So, do you remember how the previous book ended?
Yeah. Rand channeled his bussy into the taint and made it go away.
So what would you expect for the next book to talk about?
Oh, yeah. The book basically flashes back and rewinds and recounts events. It sort of does what George R. R. Martin did with books 4 and 5 of the Game of Thrones, or the last books of Game of Thrones series.
Yeah, it's basically, we had this big major event coming up at the end of the last book. Now we're going to talk about everyone we did not really mention about in the previous book and figure out what they're thinking about that significant event that is going on.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's a book.
So everybody waits for years for the next book installment, and the taint has finally been cleansed, and Robert Jordan's like, I'm going to let you finish, but first, we got to talk about these other people.
May I consider, may I tempt you with this instead? Yeah, I can't imagine.
I will admit that when I read those books, all of them were already released. And I mean, the way I read The Wheel of Time, I always like read a few books, then pause forever, then read a few more books and pause forever or whatever. And I wasn't too bothered about Crossroads of Twilight because I actually didn't mind like having that big event that I knew about, but the character didn't know about, and seeing where they were going. But I can imagine that for someone basically waiting to see what's going to go next, what's going to happen next, being offered that must have been very disappointed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did remember being kind of bored throughout reading most of Crossroads of Twilight. I think it's Robert Jordan's weakest book, even without the real-time fan thing. Like, just like as a reader, I enjoyed it the least. With Crown of Swords coming second place to that. But also, I'm weird. I don't think that the slog is really a thing. I think the slog is really just 2 books, 7 and 10.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed 8 and 9, unlike a lot of people that I know or have talked to. I really love book 8 in particular.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can't think of anything that happened in Crossroads of Twilight other than Perrin is still looking for Fail, who is still not an interesting character or likable.
Oh, no.
So a boring character looking for an irritating character.
Wow.
For the 5th book in a row.
Wow.
I will say that so we have a bunch of notes for each of the books in a Google Doc, and I think the last few books, James was the one who made the notes.
Oh.
And so I'm discovering James' notes at the same time. And regarding Fail and Perrin, their note was blah blah, Shadow Camp, Fail, Perrin, who gives a fuck?
Yeah, I agree with James in that assessment.
That was it.
And that's the only thing about those two in that summary.
Yeah, it's a significant portion of the, like, that plot is a significant portion of the book, but it really can be summed up in that. It's like, yeah,
yes.
That's kind of it.
And yeah, I'm sorry to our listeners who disagree with me, but in my opinion, and I hate that we have to like preface with, this is my opinion. I am not an authority.
No, we don't care.
I'm not an authority on Robert Jordan or the Little Time series.
We think what we want to think about those books, or that's our opinion, and if people have issue with that, well, they can have issue with that. We don't care.
Yeah. So when I say that this is a storyline about the most boring character in the series, looking for the most irritating character in the series for the 5th book in a row, that's my opinion. And you can disagree.
So I'm actually looking at like summaries from other books, but Fael got caught in like what? The Path of Dagger, but like Perrin only learns about it in Winter's Heart.
Yes.
And she's saved in like Knife of Dreams. So it's technically, she is only looking for her for 3 books. It still sucks.
Just 3.
Just 3 really long ass books.
Just a short 3 books. And those books are chunky too.
Yeah, but I remember also being so frustrated by that plot line because it's also a whole deal with Misama. And like, because there's a prophet going on, there's Aram going off rail, and some basically like Perrin basically as a follower of Aes Sedai's and random royalty that got captured. Anyway, it's a very weird thing going on. Yeah. And it's like, it could be interesting, but it's not particularly.
It went on for too long. If it had gone on for 2 books, that would have been fine. Like, in one book, it's about him, like, you know, it's more about her getting captured and him finding out about it. The next book is when, like, it's like her trying to maneuver her way, like, on her own, and him finding and rescuing her. That would have been fine. That would have been, I think, acceptable. But it was dragged out for so long. And it's unfortunate because there's so much we can. This is just turning into like an episode of Crossroads of like, it's just turning us into us reviewing the book, which I'm not against, but it's unfortunate because I think they could have done a lot more with Perrin's character, especially, and even with Fael's character too. I think they could have done a lot more with her, and it just never happened, which is unfortunate.
I find her a bit interesting when she's in the camp, like capture and like figuring out her own shit and basically like partially risking herself and manigancing and this kind of thing. But like the whole thing with like Perrin and Mesama, you know that
I know
the prophet is not gonna turn well.
No,
Right.
of course not. Yeah.
Honestly, like Perrin and Massima are much more interesting than Perrin, Fael, and Berelaine. Like,
oh yes, there's Berelaine too. I forgot about her.
Yes,
it's so
That's
like
right.
I
like Berelaine though. I do.
I like her, but it's taking too much time.
It's too much. Yeah.
I like Berelaine when she's not at all around Perrin or Fael.
Yes.
Because when Perrin, Fael, and Berelaine are mentioned in the same sentence, it reads like a horny teenager's fantasy about being fought over by two women.
I mean, it's a man's fantasy.
It's a male fantasy.
It's a male fantasy.
Like, you know that word plot, what it makes me think about? You know, when you have like someone with an issue, like a friend with an issue, and they keep talking about, should I do that? Or I don't know about that. And you know, just like make a fucking decision and move on.
Just do it. Just figure it out, please.
Please just do it.
Yeah.
Go buy at Nike if you want, but just do it.
I like that in this scenario. It's someone deciding whether or not they need to get something Nike.
I mean, isn't that the slogan of Nike? Just do it.
Just do it.
Just do it. I think I don't know.
Is that Adidas? I don't remember.
It's just like I mean, we can name the book Crossroads of Twilight. Just do it. Just do it.
Just fucking do it.
Just fucking do it.
Okay. Outside of Perrin and Fael,
Yes.
what's going on? What else?
Another thing that I remember being bored as hell through is Elaine taking all of those fucking baths and like the Succession storyline that never ends.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a middle ground of the Succession plot.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's where nothing is really like it's more just political, like internal political maneuvering more than anything, so that it doesn't go bye-bye. But yeah.
It's just so many baths.
It's like every plot within those books have a start, a middle, and an ending. And in Crossover Twilight, there's only middle of plots.
Yes.
That's a good point.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
That's
like
a good way of putting
it. I at the end, Egwene is kidnapped by the White Tower, which is the...
But that's not even the ending of a
That's
plot.
not even the ending,
with the White Towers.
Right, it's just like the start of the only interesting that's happened to her in the last... Well, basically since... I kind of liked her storyline in Book 8, but since she becomes Amaryllis, like, that basically she becomes sort of boring. Like, not her, but like her storyline does.
Yeah, it kind of plateaus a little bit.
So we can maybe dive a little bit deeper into Egwene. Oh, that was weird. I
bet a lot of people do want to do that.
Yes, of course. Anything else in particular she does that is worth mentioning? How does she get captured?
Probably by being a dummy.
Yeah, no. What was her plan?
Probably to talk to them or something.
No.
No.
To declare herself. I don't know what her plan was because she spent so many books walking to Tar-Valon that I just stopped caring, and I don't know. Egwene stance, don't come for me. I'm just saying it right now.
So Tar-Valon is a Nile. Like it's next to a river, so they get a lot of traffic from boats, and Egwene's on an army surrounding Tar-Valon, and they basically want to...
Oh, she wants to put it under siege.
Yeah, they want to siege Tar-Valon, and to make that work, they need to cut their access to resources. And one way she tries to do that is to actually lock the harbors. Like there's some gate on the harbors. And what does she figure out? Like there's a specific one power technique that she finds, like that she rediscover.
Yes.
That would be helpful in that situation to make those harbor gates not being able to open anymore.
I feel like it's something to do with war crimes.
No.
She does not know. Egwene does not rediscover war crimes. War crimes have been happening. They've been an active thing. It's more like, think more like substance. And it's something...
Traveling?
No. It's almost artsy.
Yes.
It's what?
It's almost artistic.
Yes.
Oh.
It's something that the show, yeah, they've talked about it in the show. It's a pretty significant bit of the show.
What does Bail Dorman bring to Moraine in that first episode of the second season?
The seal that I can't pronounce.
But what it's made of?
The thing that I can't pronounce.
He's like, I can't pronounce it. I just said.
Quendiar.
Quendiar.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Egwene rediscover how to make Quendiar, and her plan is to turn the Arbor Gates into Quendiar so they cannot be opened anymore.
Yeah.
Something like that.
That sounds really interesting. Why didn't it happen?
Well,
Because she got captured.
because she got caught.
Damn it, Robert Jordan.
She got caught.
Because, yeah, it's like, is that a novice that basically is that Nicola that she had threatened and then she escaped to Tarvalon and she snitched?
I think that may have been it. I can't remember because it doesn't, I'd have to go into the wiki, but
I think it's something like that.
yeah, I think so too. Yeah, she gets ratted out by someone and then has to, yeah.
There's not much else about Egwene. She girl bossed a little bit. She makes some plans for the kin, but that's pretty much it.
Girl bossing her some more crimes.
Yeah. As I can't remember who said it, but she girl bossed too close to the sun.
She girl bossed too close to the sun.
She girl bossed too close to the sun, and
Got a little bit too overconfident.
yeah, them's the breaks.
So, what other character could we talk about?
Let's do Matt.
No, we can ask Matt what other character are in this
Oh,
book.
that's true. Yes,
because
that's a
not
good
every
point.
character on
That's a good point.
I'm sure Rand is mentioned in it because I think there's only like one or two books where he's totally absent. He's probably having that post-nut clarity of tainting the sin. I mean, sin cleansing the taint.
He's completely absent from this book.
Oh, he is.
Right?
I mean, for the most part.
Yeah, because that's the frustrating part.
Yeah.
Everyone is watching the taint being cleaned, and we don't get any view of what's going on after.
Which means we probably also don't get any Nynaeve.
We don't.
Yeah.
No.
We don't.
Which
So
two of my favorite characters, and we don't get them.
It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate for them. Yeah, for them both to be missing from a book is...
who else?
Is Matt missing from the book? Because I feel like he doesn't.
No, is that?
Oh no, he's not. Oh God.
He's very much not missing from this book.
Oh no. Oh fuck. It's this storyline, isn't it?
Which one?
The one that I hate. The one in which Matt fucks a bunch of slavers.
What?
Or just the one flirts
Just
with
the
her.
one. I mean,
Tuan.
doesn't fuck with...
Falls in love, marries her.
Hold on a second.
Yeah.
That was Tuan that you were talking about?
Yes.
What a wild way to describe Tuan. I mean, it's not that it's not inaccurate, but it's just an insane way to describe her. I thought you were just talking about like a one-off character, which is why I was so confused.
No, I just really hate the Sanjan.
I mean, that's fair.
And I just really hate that entire storyline so much, like with the passion.
I see.
Like,
Yeah.
I see.
So yeah, Matt gets to know Tuon.
Mm-hmm.
He actually does something very wait. I read that sentence. I don't know if you're on the dock, and I'm like, didn't that happen earlier?
No, I don't think so.
does he spank her or something?
I mean, he's always spanking someone.
That's true.
I somehow thought it was when he was trying to flee
Nope.
a Buddha.
I think so. Because remember, there's a thing where he has to call himself like there are like 3 times or something. It has to happen.
Yeah.
And so I think the first time that it happened was when he's fleeing Ibudar.
Does this have to do with the golem?
No.
No, I'm talking about him putting a ring on it.
Oh, Jesus Christ. No, I've wiped from my memory all of this stuff with Matt and Tuan.
You've scrubbed it from your brain?
I mean, honestly, he belongs with Galad. That's just how his character arc should have gone.
This is what I think. I believe that you do genuinely hate the Shan-Chan, but I do believe that there's an equal part of this that is also that you just really want Matt with Galad. And it wouldn't matter who it is that Matt ends up with. If it's not Galad, Matt, you Matt, are like, no.
Yeah.
We can't have this. I rebuke this in the name of the creator.
I would have been less mad if it hadn't been a slaver.
Sure.
I would still have been mad.
Mm-hmm.
Like that fireworks lady.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aludra.
Aludra. She's cool.
Aludra, that's her name.
I would have been irked, but it would have made more sense because Matt's known her for a while and they're more compatible. And I'm sure there's Matt Aludra shippers. I don't know what the heterosexuals do as far as shipping goes. I try not to get into that lifestyle.
Yeah, I think some people liked Matt with Aludra.
With Aludra, I think they're a pretty popular pairing.
Yeah.
Seems like.
Again, I try not to perceive heterosexuality, so
Valid.
It's important.
I don't know.
So yes, that is a fairly decent storyline.
That is pretty much everything about the main characters.
Yeah.
But then there's also a bunch of things about secondary characters that I do think are worth mentioning.
Mhm.
Since you were talking about gay shit, let's talk maybe about your favorite depressed gay that is not that depressed anymore. Depressed twink. He's not a twink.
Who?
Poor depressed twink.
Not Galad, right?
No, the I'm talking about Logain.
Yeah.
Logain is not a twink.
It's not a twink, that's for sure. I was trying to figure out
What would he be classified as?
Yeah.
What would he be?
What type of gay would he be?
Yeah. What is he?
Just a depressed basement gremlin gay.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes, that sounds
That is it.
better.
A depressed basement gremlin gay.
Any things to say about him? Apparently Rand does show up. Forget about that.
It's right at the beginning too. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, maybe it's in
Okay.
the prologue or something like that. I don't
Maybe.
remember.
If it's there, it's a very, very short
Very brief
thing.
mention.
Yeah, very, very brief.
Logain is gay and does crimes.
Mm-hmm. Well, in this book, actually, he's pretty much not. He's not the one doing the crimes, which is shocking, surprising.
So he's probably doing something for Rand at this point. As incompetent as Rand is with the Black Tower, he's at least smart enough to know to work with Logain.
Yes.
Probably.
So you're talking about the Black Tower. What's going on with the Black Tower?
Mazrim Taim, not Demandred, is twirling his mustache evilly.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And what does Logain does about that?
Probably nothing, because these characters are all idiots when it comes to obviously evil characters.
Logain does something. It's a response that is, let's do nothing.
The response is where the issue lies.
Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea what Logain does.
Logain tells Rand that time is sus as fuck. And Rand is like, no, that's fine. Let's move on. I have better things to do.
We're gonna put a pin in this. We're gonna circle back to this later.
No, it's not going back.
Well, I'll just tee that up for the next meeting.
Yes. I hate it.
Yeah, I don't really know what to talk as. There's a few Aes Sedai's things going on in the White Tower.
Okay, so there's one significant, or will become a significant thing that a White Tower sister suggests they should start doing. That does have to do with the Black Tower.
Is it Pavara talking about being friends with them?
Yes, and specifically
And fucking them?
Well, okay, maybe a side effect.
She's not talking about fucking them, technically.
No,
she's talking
not so
about...
much. What do they do?
Bonding them?
There it
Yes.
is. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she talks about bonding them, which does become a pretty significant...
plot later on.
Yes, yeah.
I think it's potentially worth mentioning stuff going on with...
Forsaken stuff? Any Forsaken
Black
stuff?
Aja in the White Tower, I guess.
Is Masana involved?
Yeah.
Unfortunate.
Don't know much about her because she doesn't do anything.
Yeah, she doesn't do much.
No.
I actually don't remember what happened exactly there, but like Alviarin is stripped of the Keeper stole, I guess. So Mesana punishes her.
Yep.
Then there's Shaida Aran showing up and
creepy rapist guy
punishing Mesana instead.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, more weird rapey male fantasies.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
And we're supposed to be fine with it because they're all villains, but it's still not okay.
Yes, rape is not an acceptable punishment.
No, never.
It's bad.
Never.
Nope.
In no reality is it okay. It doesn't matter how bad the person is. Bad.
Yeah, so for anybody who's writing, just in your writing any kind of book, if you have a villain, don't have them get raped as a punishment. That's just
bad. Do other things.
Kill them. Do what Robert Jordan could not do. Kill them.
Do what? Who?
Yes.
Kill the woman.
Oh yeah.
That's
Jordan
right.
could not do.
Kill
the woman.
Yeah, that sounds totally.
That sounds bad. Maybe let's.
That sounds so bad.
Do what Jordan could not do. Kill the woman. Can we make that the title of this episode?
Oh boy.
I'm fine with it.
Please.
I'm fine
I'll
with
get
it.
canceled.
I mean, listen, if it hasn't happened yet, it's not going to happen.
That's true.
Oh, talking about that. You know how I put the video, like the unedited recording, video recording of the episode on YouTube? I did that earlier today for one of the Ring of Power episode, whose name was It's Still Fucking Gondor. And then we got an email from YouTube saying, so your content is not age appropriate, so we restricted your video for people under 18 just because there's a fucking in the fucking title.
Just because they said fuck a couple times? Cowards.
Society's weak.
Yeah, honestly, Americans are so weak. I'm sorry to say, because we don't have any issue with fuck here.
Let people say fuck. My God.
YouTube censoring a video because of fucking when it's not even referencing to the sexual activity. Like, it's still fucking Gondor. It's like there's nothing sexual in that title, nor in that episode, by the way.
Maybe they confused it. Maybe they thought it's still fucking Gandor. And so they were saying, like, something is fucking Gondor. And they got it confused.
Gandalf is fucking Gondor.
Maybe an it is fucking Gondor. I don't know.
Gandalf goes to the white tree at the top of...
I've had the issue a few times with on YouTube, I basically censoring pussies, fucking, dick, and all of those kind of words because it's like not worth it. So I just censor the title, and then suddenly the censoring thing went away. So
that's good.
Anyway, so we get cancelled by YouTube.
And you know what? If we're gonna be canceled by someone, I love that it's you. That makes me happy.
Yeah.
That's great.
YouTube is canceling us for our Gandalf / Minas Tirith fanfic.
Mpreg fanfic. Exactly.
Gandalf impregnates Minas Tirith.
Oh God, I hate this. I hate this.
No.
He impregnates the tree.
Do we want to move on to Knife of Dreams?
Let's move on.
Let's move on to Knife of Dreams, maybe. Matt, what's going on in Knife of Dreams?
Oh, Robert Jordan's last book makes me sad.
Yeah.
Let's see. We finally moved past the fucking cleansing of the taint and all that shit. Perrin finally finds Fael. And because I remember reading that when I was in the bath, like Elaine was taking baths in the novel. So I was like, you know what? I'll take a bath too, since since Elaine's probably going to be, taking baths. Why not me too? And I read the rescue scene in the bath, and the water was getting a little too tepid, so I stopped. Anyways.
You're painting such a vivid picture for this. I do love it.
I don't want to paint too vivid a picture. So.
And?
I don't want to gross people out. Yeah, I know. Okay, Galad finally does something that makes people acknowledge that he's cool by killing Eminvalda, right? That's this book, right? Or has that already happened?
Is it? Yes.
What are you talking about? Perrin?
No, he's right.
No, Galad.
He's right.
Killing. And this is why Galad
Oh, yes, it does.
is big gay vibes, because no one has fury like a gay whose mother has been insulted.
It's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's an epic scene. I remember that very clearly.
It is. That's like one of my favorite scenes. It's my favorite Galad scene.
It's fantastic.
And it's one of my favorite scenes in the book.
Yeah.
It's part of the prologue, right?
It is.
I think so, yeah.
It's like one of the few interesting prologues. Sorry, Robert Jordan, I love you, but your prologues were not all that interesting, except for this one. This one was a banger. It was a good prologue to go out on.
Yeah.
Big time respect. So Galad kills Eminvalda in a battle sequence that was a long time coming and very exciting to read. And he's dead.
Mm-hmm. And what?
What does that mean for Galad?
It means that he is now the new captain of the White Tower. I mean, the...
What?
The White Tower.
The White Cloaks.
There you go. Yeah.
No, maybe when he discovers he can channel.
Who knows? Anything can happen, right?
Who knows? What else?
the taint has been cleansed.
Mhm.
So
You already said that.
Pavara goes to the Black Tower, maybe?
Okay.
Or does Andral not happen? Is Andral Brandon Sanderson's own creation?
I believe so.
Android existed, but had a very minor role. Maybe it was mentioned when Rand was trying to find channelers or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
But he wasn't a real person until Sanderson make him real.
I knew there was a Sanderson self-insert character. I just didn't know if it was Andral.
Oh, it's Android, definitely.
It's Andral. Which is fine. It's fine. But,
So
You mentioned Perrin and Fail. Maybe we can...
yeah, I said that he rescues her finally.
Yeah, any detail on that?
He is boring. She's annoying. They deserve each other.
No, but like outside of that, can we talk plot?
Oh, like there's an attack. And I think this is this when oh fuck, I have his name. I know who he is.
I know who you're talking.
Not the Prophet Massimoth, but the young guy. He does
Aram?
Yes, Aram.
Yes.
He does the bad
Yeah.
and has a little hissy fit and tries to do a little murder. And he is stopped from doing a murder on Perrin by Gaul, Bane and Chiad.
I don't remember exactly who, but by his stop, what do you mean?
Mm-hmm. No, he's killed.
Yeah, because his stop is such a nice way of saying, "Oh, that guy dies."
Yeah, which frankly he was also annoying.
Well.
Very pretty in the TV show.
Regarding Massima, what happened to him?
Is he probably also killed?
Apparently no.
I don't know. Is he killed?
I don't remember.
I mean, I trust James. It does not happen in this book because I just scroll down and see where it does happen. So it's not in this book.
Okay, so Massima actually doesn't die.
No.
He escapes
Not yet.
Okay.
with a few folks.
I mean, I'm sure more stuff happens with Perrin, but do we have to talk about Perrin?
Yeah, but like I do want to.
Do you remember how they
regarding how Perrin?
Yes.
Yeah, how Perrin like rescue Fail. The detail of the plan and this kind of thing, I don't really care, even if it's in the doc. But I do think it's interesting to note who were his allies.
There's a battle of some sort, and like it's like some Aiel against the Shido Aiel, and Fail is with Morgaze, and Morgaze is fuckboy, and
Yes.
Talonvor.
Unfortunately, yes.
And like they're in a house at some point and something blows up or something and Fael like pushes people out of the house maybe or something. I don't know. Like I remember weird details, but I don't remember like the plot because I was just so ready to be over it by that point.
But what awful people did Perrin ally himself in order to save Faye?
Oh, he allied himself with Massima's nut jobs.
Not just Massima.
Oh, the Sanchan.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's like
is it?
I'm still mad about that.
Is it Rogue Sanchan or is it like?
No.
Yeah, it's 8.
It's really Sanchan.
Yeah.
Like it's basically Perrin is like, yeah, you can feel free to take any woman channeler from that Aiel camp.
Mm-hmm.
So like Perrin is like making an agreement to sell into slavery a bunch of like other channelers.
Yep.
Oh, lovely.
And you're a good guy.
Yeah.
Some more war crimes. Just some war crimes as a treat.
So before you criticize Leandrin, just remember, Perrin also did the same thing.
Yeah, basically.
God forbid a woman do things. My gosh.
I know, like, so a man sells people into slavery by the hundreds and it's fine, but if a woman does it,
Suddenly there's a problem with it.
Suddenly there's a problem.
Suddenly there's an
Suddenly
issue.
there's a problem.
You know, slavery's gone woke.
It has. What a sentence.
I'm going to hell for saying that. I'm just gonna say.
What a sentence. Slavery's gone woke. My God.
I'm going to hell. I'm so sorry, everybody. This is not a topic that should be joked about, and I did. So I broke one of my moral codes just now. I'm very sorry, everybody.
You had a moral code.
I do have a moral code. Thank you very much.
Oh my God.
Okay, moving on. Talk about another character. Pick one and say what's going on with
Yeah.
him.
I'm sure Matt's still fucking around with Tuon,
Yes.
Yes.
and probably the circus is happening at some point.
I feel like ever since book 5, you've been like, you throw the circus in there just in the off chance that that's actually applied.
But it's because it's true.
It's not
the circus
untrue.
is actually there. Like the circus have been around Matt for like the past 3 books.
It's true. It's really funny that you're like, yeah, in the circus. The circus is...
More like, yeah, in the circus.
So Matt's still with you on.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think one thing to note maybe is that he starts figuring out with Aludra how to make cannons, dragons.
Matt discovers more war crimes.
Yes.
Yeah.
To make bombs.
Again, and Baildeman gets married, which is cute.
There's an important thing that Matt discovers in this book. It's a very...
He is the Will of Time's Oppenheimer. He discovers the nuclear bomb.
No.
Sure. Maybe. But not that.
Or is Aludra the Oppenheimer of this world?
No.
He discovers the bomb. I wouldn't call Moraine the bomb, but
Oh yeah, the no. Well, she is
Yeah.
the bomb
The bomb.
as we used
She is
to
the
say
bomb.
back in the 90s.
Yes.
He discovers that Moraine is, and he's had this letter. I don't know how long this dumbass has had this letter.
My God, I have been screaming at this man. I remember reading these books and screaming every time there was a Matt chapter. I'd be like, Matt, just read it. Read it. Read the letter.
read the fucking
It
letter.
was so annoying, but he finally reads it. He's like, "Oh yeah, by the way, BT Dubs, Moraine's alive."
Yeah, pretty much.
Basically.
And she still doesn't get rescued until fucking book 11 at the very end. Sorry,
Yeah.
this is moving ahead.
Yeah.
I'm just irritated.
Yes, it's bullshit.
Yeah.
So he marries Turon.
Yes.
Okay, moving on.
Okay, so this is the book where he marries Tuan.
Yes.
Okay, yes. Okay, and then last book is when he proposes. Okay.
I really forget how much I truly hate Matt. His end of series storylines. Rescuing Moraine is actually really fun. It's the last time he does anything that I'm interested in because after that it's all, look at me, I'm married to a slaver.
Anything like? Let's talk about another one of the EF5. Who else we haven't talked about yet?
Nynaeve, is she doing the thing with the circus?
No, circus is
no.
it was like 5 books
Yes.
ago.
Okay.
Nynaeve has left her circus life behind her. Firmly behind her.
Oh, is this the book with that fucking line, "Oh, will he ride alone?" That every straight white dude comes over?
Oh, okay. To say, and what's your problem with that? But it's the people who...
It's a cool line.
Yeah.
Like, when Lan goes off being a dummy, like, Nynaeve is like, okay, this man's an idiot. I love him, and he's my idiot, but if I don't want him to get his stupid self killed, because Tarman Gaiden's about to happen, he needs his allies. So she's like, the Golden Crane rides for whatever, will he ride alone? And it's a cool line, but I'm sorry, every straight white man out there literally comes in his pants over it on Twitter. It's like that. If your favorite parts of the Wheel of Time are Dumai's Wells and Nynaeve's line, that's a red flag, and I need you to read some more books written by women. I need you to go and read some Octavia Butler. I need you to go read some Ursula K. Le Guin.
Read some N.K. Jemisin.
Some N.K. Jemisin, too. I need you to read books by women. I need you to read them by books written by queer people and people who are not. I need you to read something besides your little cumboy fantasy of Dumai's Wells and Will He Ride Alone. Yes, it's a fine line. It is not... It's fine.
Yeah.
That's it. It's cool. It's Nynaeve saving her husband from being a dumbass because, like most women in this series, she has to do something that the man can't do himself. Also, kneel or be knelt is still a stupid line. I'm sorry. Like, it's not a cool line. It's stupid. It's not badass. It's dumb.
Yeah.
It's evil.
Well, I've heard, I think, I'm pretty sure it was Lesbian Nerdy talking about that line specifically and how, like, in comparison, like, Nynaeve does so many cool things.
Yes.
Nynaeve does so many cool things throughout the series, and the fact that that's the line that people are like, this is her best moment, and it's like, are we reading the same book? Because there are, like, 5 other ones that I can rank ahead of that.
I could rank literally most of her actions, like overcoming her block.
Yes.
Just generally not taking anyone's shit. Cleansing the taint. Which, you know, and
the fight against Moghedien, like
her love-making session against Moghedien.
Yes, exactly. Her foreplay with Moghedien,
Her foreplay with Moghedien.
Yeah.
It's like there's so much.
And I think it's it's even worse than saying it's a best moment. I saw a lot of people who were like, oh, I hated Nynaeve until that moment.
I was like...
So you hated the badass independent woman until she does something for her husband?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Let's unpack that for a bit, because like a lot of what Nynaeve does is in conjunction with men in the series. But like, let's take the cleansing of the taint. She could not have cleansed the taint without Rand, but Rand could not have cleansed it without her. It was
exactly.
It was not a case of a woman helping a man. They were not a man and a woman being helped by they were literally instrumental in the success in a coming together.
Yeah.
Let's take not the cave thing, because that's the end. Like overcoming her block.
Yeah.
That is something. Yes, it involved land, but it was the culmination.
She is saving herself. Like
she's saving herself.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it's the culmination of her storyline up until that point, when she's looking for the bowl of the winds. Like she's working with women. So like
I know.
And yes, like a lot, like the nature of the show or the books is that men and women working together. But this is a scene specifically where she is doing something for a man that did not need to be done and is only being done because he's a dumb fuck.
Yeah.
Yep.
And if that's the moment,
she's wasting time. She has so many other things to do.
Like
She's wasting time because her husband is a dumb fuck that wants to die alone while fighting in the blight. And I'm like,
and I'm sorry. I know that people get really, really like they're, let's say, passionate about Lan's commitment to being willing to die, which to me is weird. It's weird. It's weird. It's weird that you find that so like this is not healthy behavior. It's important that people realize that it's not healthy behavior.
Lan needed therapy.
Yes.
he needs therapy more than Rand.
Yes. Like please.
I'm just gonna say that.
Like please.
I mean, considering what happened to Rand in this book, I think they both need a lot of therapy, because we can maybe...
Okay, well, Rand does a little genocide,
maybe
but...
it's time to move on. No, I mean, I that's actually the genocide moment. Oh, no, that was another moment, right?
Oh, mass murder, sorry. Nah, not genocide, it's mass murder.
Is it?
Yeah,
Natran's Barrow?
That's in another book, right?
I need to Google this now.
In which book was that? Oh, no, it's in the next book.
Oh,
it's not in
yes,
this one.
It is.
In this one, he just goes to another level of darkness, which is actually what gets him to do that in a book after. What happens to him that is deeply traumatic.
Oh, Cat Swain?
And
it's not Cat Swain.
She happens to him.
It's not Cat Swain.
She's been around for a bit, but she hasn't been...
He almost kills Tam, probably.
No, that's two books later.
That doesn't happen yet. We're not there yet. There's I'm trying to think how we can
all the single ladies.
I'm just thinking.
All the single ladies. No,
Camille's doing the Beyonce all the single ladies dance.
Yes, he is.
I'm just showing my hand.
Oh, he gets married.
No.
He gets some pussy. I don't know.
No.
I'm still riled up from this land discourse.
I know you are. I know you're still mentally there.
So, Rand starts from a good intention in the sense that he wants to meet Succession in order to...
get talks going.
Get a common, be like, hey, we have a common enemy, we should work together. Instead, he meets someone else that he thought was the daughter of the Night Moon, but we know that's not her because we know where the daughter of the Night Moon is.
She was punished for her crimes by being made into an ugly old woman.
No, but Matt, you know who the daughter of the Night Moon is, right?
Oh, that's Tuon.
Yes.
Yes, that's Tuon. So Rand thinks that he's about to meet Tuon, but instead something else happens.
Cimarag.
Yes, exactly. Who has also done what by this point? There's something that she's done.
Torture porn.
Probably. But, I mean, that's a side copy.
She's taken his hand off? Oh, she's assassinated the Sanchan royal family.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which, honestly, it's kind of a based move.
I mean, yeah. But it's also, it's probably not,
War crimes are okay if she's hot while doing it.
Yes, that's true.
Anyway, back to Rand and Semirage. Semirage also shows up with something else
Is this when she chops his hand off?
Yes, but what was her plan for Rand?
Her plan, I don't know, probably turn him inside out and fuck him backwards or something.
Maybe.
We've seen something very similar in season 2 with Egwene.
Oh, she wanted to collar him?
Yeah, that's when she show up with a mail at him, and she tries to collar him. And instead, a fight happened and he loses a hand.
Yep.
Is this where she gets spanked?
It is not. No.
Which is actually
This is later.
It's the only spanking scene that I thought was hilarious.
Yes, this is
Like,
later.
She gets spanked and fed beans on the floor, something like that.
Which is wild. I mean...
Katsuane and Semira again, that scene is like, what?
I don't know.
Jordan.
What are you doing?
No, that wasn't even Jordan.
No,
that
it was Sanderson. Sanderson, what the fuck?
Like,
why are you doing this?
Why? We did not need it that.
Did we need this? Who asked for this? Who is asking for
Nobody
this?
asked for that.
Exactly, nobody.
Nobody asked for the beans.
Nobody asked for the beans.
God.
God.
A few more things. There's another of the EF5 that we haven't talked about yet.
Elaine? Oh, wait, no, she's not the EF5.
She's not part of the EF5.
Oh, Egwene.
Yes.
I'm assuming Elaine either continues or finishes her succession thing. So that's wham bam, thank you, ma'am. We're done with that.
Yeah, it's a continuation, I think.
And you know what? It's funny because that's essentially what James put in the doc as well. They put Elaine, blah blah, Camelin, something with the Black Aja, and that's it.
She roots them out of Camelin or something?
I'm assuming so.
What?
Maybe. I don't know.
No, it's like she almost gets captured by the Black Aja in that book, I think.
Oh, that's right.
I think it's that book.
Okay.
Which is super overconfident and
That's
anyway,
right.
shit stones badly.
Yeah.
But regarding Egwene,
Egwene finally starts to become interesting again after like so many books. Again, do not come for me, Egwene stands. Do not come for me. I can hold my own.
And what happens? What is it that what happens?
She starts to she's forced back into her novice role, despite clearly being like more than capable of holding her own, and like it's ridiculous because she now sees herself as Amerlin, and she just does badass. I'm sure whatever she does is badass. I'm sure she fucks with Elida's plans and undermines Elida by refusing to do things and like calls Elida's rule into question. The great line, which is a much better line than "Will he ride alone?" By the way, the Dark One wouldn't want to be associated with you. That's the next book, right?
Yeah, because she says it when
I think it's the next book. Yeah,
it's the next one because she says it when it's the big confrontation with Elida.
Oh, that's also one of the
which is also delicious.
Yeah, it is. I remember that because it's one of the things that I credit Brandon Sanderson for, despite being highly critical of him. So yeah, she becomes interesting again after so many books of not, and that's probably why this book is so well seen because a lot of these storylines come to a conclusion or move to the next phase. Yeah, and it feels like the series is no longer stalling out. Yeah, which is great.
Yeah, and like I think the like Matt finally reading that fucking letter and everyone finding out that Moraine is alive does a lot for this book. Like I think it breathes kind of a new life into it because you know it's like, oh my god, there's hope. Okay, here we go.
Yeah. Between the Shadow plot being finally over, Galat killing Valda.
Galat, that's right, yeah.
That like you started on a big epic thing and you basically end the books on that letter.
Yeah, great. Excellent.
It was a return to form for Robert Jordan, and I'm so glad that he published it before he passed.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. A few other random things that were in the notes. The Amaya commits Matt's suicide as a result of the Sidene being cleansed.
That's
the who?
Right.
Yeah, that's why. It's because during the cleansing, those two Sangreal got super bright, especially the one that was on the island where the that people that were mentioned basically twice before.
That's right.
And they saw that big orb glowing and they have a prophecy that we don't really know how it comes up, and so they all commit mass suicide.
Yeah, that's right.
And I still don't know why it was in those books. You're like, cool.
Who knows?
Who knows? Who knows?
Who knows? Thank you, Jordan.
Yeah.
I feel like it's just Jordan has so many ideas and so many groups of people that he wanted to dive into and didn't have the time. And that's why those books were taking forever, because so many things to talk about and so little time to do so.
Well, I mean, he built this like big, huge, expansive world with so many different cultures and people and everything like that. And you can just tell, I think he just got like, he would think of something really, really cool and be like, okay, we have to get this in there. And then would realize like, oh, but I need to also tell like the main stories too. And so the other, you know what I mean? I think that kind of happened. Which
I get it.
I get it. And I'm not.
As a writer, I get it.
Yeah, I'm not mad about it.
And that's why those prologue were long. It's because like the main part of the book were about the main character or like people that had a significant arc within the books, and the prologue was like all of the tiny thing you wanted to talk about but couldn't talk about outside of that.
It was this outlet to get all that stuff out.
Yeah. In the prologue we also go back to Meridian, who calls a meeting and say everyone needs to find the seals to the Dark Ones, and also apparently he wants to kill Perrin and Matt, as if it wasn't something he had already tried in book 1, but...
Right, I was like, you've done this already, my friend, but okay.
You failed.
You tried it.
Yeah.
You tried. And I think last thing worth mentioning was that Loyal marries Aerith and finds out that they're talking, like that's Ogier?
Yes.
The Ogier are talking about opening the Book of Translation. And Rand gives the task to Loyal, I think, because he wants the Wigates near cities to be sealed, because he knows that the Dark One can send troops to them. If only someone had listened.
If only. If only. But alas.
Yeah. And I think that's going to be it for tonight.
Yeah, that's kind of it. It's a good book. I like Crossroads.
That wasn't Crossroads, that was Knife of Dreams.
As soon as I said it, I was like, this isn't right.
Now that
is
a cancelable take.
I know. I'm sorry. I will be making my apology video very shortly. Just, putting my truth out there. Vulnerable.
Do you have the ukulele yet?
It's on order. It's arriving.
I have one.
You have that's right. You do have a ukulele. Oh my God. Camille is going to get their ukulele.
Ooh.
I have the ukulele.
Oh my God. I love it.
Oh my God.
It's probably not tuned and I don't know how to play it, but I have the ukulele if you want to make an apology.
That's
I will be hitting you up
amazing.
for that, Camille. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, one thing before we go, I just want to reiterate.
Keep talking. Go ahead. Camille's just going to play us
I
out.
just want to reiterate, if you only first started liking Nynaeve during that Will He Ride Alone scene, you need to check your internal misogyny and maybe seek out a woman or two in your life who can teach you a thing or two about how to treat women as characters and humans with full agency.
Oh, I don't know what that was.
The fact that whole speech is being set to Camille playing the ukulele. Amazing. So good. Oh my God.
Okay.
Is that it? I think we're done.
We're getting a little special, so
I think we're done. Camille is currently bent over, dying of laughter. Oh my God.
Bless our hearts.
Oh boy. Okay.
On this, thank you very much for listening to this episode of The Queers of Time. We hope you enjoyed the music and the discussion in general. Have a great day.
You can find us on Twitter, also known as X, but also basically Twitter. Instagram sometimes, Tumblr sometimes when we remember, Blue Sky sometimes. What else? We have a Discord. Join the Discord. It's very active. We have a lot of fun in there. What else? I was about to say Patreon.
On Patreon.
On Patreon.
If you can support us on Patreon, because making this shit is expensive, and we like doing it, but also it's expensive. So if you can support us, please and thank you.
Support us so that we won't ride alone.
Oh my God.
Oh no.
God.
Oh no. Let me bring back the ukulele.
God. Bring it back. Let's play it out. Boy.
Okay,
Bye.
bye everyone.
Bye.
Thank you for listening. Thank you all for listening. This was Queers of Time, a Wheel of Time podcast. The music is Dance of the Witches by Julius H.